The Mark of the Beast. This title really shouldn't surprise anyone who has been paying attention. It's coming. At first through what looked like benign offerings of technology to make life easier, covered in convenience or dependence. But this is more than that. This is an intrusion into our bodies to make us literally part of their system. No longer a consumer or mere bystander, but assimilated with it. It seemed for the longest time the barcode was the representation of the mark of the beast, as told in the Bible, that no man shall buy or sell lest he have this mark. Each product mostly has to have a barcode these days, but you can still trade without it. So maybe money was the mark then. Without that you cannot buy or sell. But you can, because you can still barter and trade with goods, eliminating the money in the transaction altogether, just like the good old days. What they really seem intent on though, is eliminating people being part of a normal daily transaction, apart from the buying and consuming bit. A conveyor of customers that you can just scan. Do you not see the correlation? They scan barcodes of products to keep track of them, and process them through a database of transactions for the purpose of analysis, usually for the purpose of continued marketing, i.e., are people buying that product? How much do we need? Reordering, etc. So put yourself now as that product, with your inserted chip and barcode tag, slight upgrade from your national security number, although it will be tied to it, integrated with your digital ID. Once you start on that conveyor belt, you don't actually know where it goes, do you? And as they scan more people and analyse the data, they will adapt those systems for said requirement. But as the algorithm interprets them from a robotic and sterile viewpoint, there will be minimal interaction with other people, unless they too are part of the conveyor. I know a little we've all secretly dreamed of having a shop to ourselves, or wishing that all the people would be replaced by machines so we didn't have to talk to anyone, or smile, or be polite, because sometimes we just aren't feeling it. But on the flip side, how many have just popped to a shop to be able to see and be around people, when maybe you aren't in the best place in your life? We used to joke about GP surgeries being full all the time because old people just needed someone to talk to, so they would be there. Not anymore, obviously, but the point being that people need other people for the most part. Once you are in the system though, by way of biometrics, facial recognition and digital ID, it will be very hard for you to be in control of your own life and make your own decisions. And maybe you struggled with those things anyway, and welcome the new way that is coming. But the majority do not seem to be on board, not voluntarily anyway. So they are trying very hard to coerce, blackmail, and manipulate people into accepting their access systems, where they can get to decide what, where, who, and when. It can seem scary, I know, to be responsible for yourself, your whole life and decisions. But what is even scarier is the thought of someone else doing it all for you throughout your entire life. The parent that just won't let go, or ever let you leave home, and needs to know what you are doing all the time, and decides when you can and can't do things, decides what you eat, if you can work, etc. We used to call that controlling and abusive, but for some reason, because it is the face of a corporation doing it, people seem fine with it. And because they want to do it to everyone, that seems okay too for many. Just shocking. Behind these corporations are people, greedy, manipulative people who are used to getting their own way, and when they jump, they pay people to say how high. That's who wants to be in charge of your life, and little by little they are being let in through the front door, being invited, just as a victim needs to invite a vampire into their home to give them extra powers. It seems to be the case here. So all I can advise is that people don't be so willing to be a product on the conveyor of consumerism, because just as those things you used to scan were useful to you, you become useful to someone else. You just won't know why yet.